Welcome to Introduction to Java for Beginners Part 1 and Part 2. In this lesson, we're going to learn a little bit about Java, making comments in Java code, and we're going to learn how to put some text onto the screen. So to make it easy for everyone, instead of installing Java and an ID and everything, it's confusing for beginners, we're just going to use this website I found. It's called repl.it, and it lets you do Java online. It's pretty cool. So if you go to this website, you do not need to log in or create an account. You can, if you want to save your work. If you want to just get started and play around, just scroll down to here and you'll see all the different languages that are available. Now, I usually do Python tutorials, but my school has offered me to teach AP Java next year, so I'm quite excited about that. And so I'm going to be doing a little bit of Java with you. So let's get started. So I'm just going to click on Java, and what will come up is you'll see some files. Now, for our purposes, we won't need that. I'm just going to slide that over. And you see over here, we've got our code and we've got our runtime environment. And you'll see they've already started a little bit of Java code for you. Java is an object-oriented language. It's very strict in the sense that everything's an object. You must use objects. You must use classes. It's pretty, hardcore. Coming from a Python background, this is a new world. But anyway, the Java programs that we'll be doing will look like this. You're going to need a class called main, and then a method called main as well. Notice this is capitalized, this is not. And if you're doing this in an IDE, if you were to save this file, it would have to be saved with the exact same name. So if you change this to lesson 1, for example, no spaces, this would have to be called lesson 1. But if you already know that much, then you probably already know that. So the code that we're going to be writing is going to be basically in between here in this main method. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I'm just going to go ahead and add some comments to my code. I'll give us a little space. So a comment in Java looks like this. And if you want to learn more about me or my tutorials, you can go to christianthompson.com. And you can also, thanks to the completion, you can also find me on Twitter at TokyoEdTech. And this is lesson 1 and 2 combined. And this is all about comments and printing. Okay, I'm putting text on the screen in this case. Now, this is a comment. Notice each line is an individual comment. That's what the 2 slashes mean. We can also do a multi-line comment. Notice how it's a slash and an asterisk. Notice how everything turned gray. So we have to close that with an asterisk and another slash. And you'll see now this is color coded. So I can put, this is a multi-line comment. And I'm lazy, so I'm going to copy and paste. So now we have 2 types of comments, so single line and multi-line. Okay, now getting back to Java. What's interesting, actually, is I'm going to hit run and run this code and see what happens. It takes a little time because Java has to be compiled to bytecode. But you see over here, nothing really happens. Okay? Comments do not appear in the output. They're just there for human beings to read. So if we want to print some text to the screen in Java, we use the following: system.out.println, print line, and then in there we put what we want. And at the end of every Java statement, you need a semicolon. Now, I'm going to copy this because I'm going to be using it quite a lot. So I'm going to do the traditional programmer thing and type hello world. And that is that. I don't need to save it, but I'm going to run it. And you got to wait a little bit, and you'll see now the output is hello world. Okay, so a couple things. We can concatenate strings. So what we can do is we can put quote hello, and I can put plus world. Let's take a look at that. Now, think about it to yourself. What do you think I'm going to see on the screen now? And here we go. Okay, so you can see there, even though there's spaces here, to the left of the plus sign, to the right of the plus sign, those spaces are not included because they are not inside the quotation marks. So again, if you've programmed before, this should be nothing new, but if you're really new to programming, this is important information. Now, if we wanted to put that space there, one option would be to put a space here. Another option would be put a space there, and that would work. We can also do the following. I can do hello, quote, plus, quote, space, plus, quote, do that, world, and exclamation point. So I'm going to hit run there and see what we get. Okay, so you can see we've got hello world with a space, we've got hello plus world, no space, and we got hello plus space plus world. So those are the different ways we can do that. So now watch this. I'm going to continue on printing some stuff. So what I can do to print a blank line is I can just put a couple double quotes there, and that will print like that. And now I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to print the number 2. Now notice there's no decimal. This is called an integer, and we'll get to that in a different lesson. And I'm going to see if it runs. Okay, so you see we got our 2. I'm going to try this again. Now notice here I'm indenting. Okay, so indenting is important. You don't have to do it because the braces are used to denote code blocks. Okay, we'll get to that another time. But indenting is used so your code is clean and easy to read. So now I'm going to type this 2. So this 2 is called a string. Anything inside the double quotes is a string, and I'll get to that later at some point. But basically, a string is textual information. And then this 2, because it's not in quotes, is numerical information. Now, when we print it here, we should see the same thing. And we do, which is what we wanted. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make a little space here. I'm going to print out another blank line. And now I'm going to do this. Very similar. I'm going to print 2.0. And then I'm going to print quote 2.0. And again, in this case, this is called a double. So because it has a decimal point, it's a different data type. It's called a double. And this is in quotation marks, so it's still a string. So I'm going to run that, and we should get the same thing. Okay, there we go. So far, so good. Okay, now this is where it might get a little different to what you think it's going to do. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to print 2 plus 2. Now, for those of you who are good at math, you probably know that is going to be 4. But I'm also going to do the following. I'm going to print quote 2. I'll put spaces in, keep it consistent. 2 plus 2. And then I'm also going to try this. 2 plus 2. So based on what we did up here, what do you think the result's going to be down here? This is going to be kind of interesting to me. So let's run it and see what we got. Okay, very interesting. So you notice the numbers 2 and 2 added up to 4. However, because this was in quotes, it prints that literally. So 2 space plus space 2. And notice this one, this is in quotes, this is in quotes, so this plus is used to concatenate, just like we did up here. Okay, so that gives us 2 and 2. So you have to understand that to the computer, in its memory, this 2 plus 2 is very different to this 2 plus 2 and this 2 plus 2. That's something you'll see more of as you learn more about programming. Okay, let's try another one. Kind of the same example, but with our doubles. I'm going to scroll that up there. And notice I just copied and pasted that, so I didn't have to keep typing it over and over again. So I'm going to try the same thing with 2.0 plus 2.0. And then quote 2.0 plus 2.0. And hopefully at this point you're kind of seeing the pattern. You can guess what the output's going to be. 2.0 plus quote 2.0. And let's run that one. And again, it takes a little bit of time. And here we go. So we got 4.0, because we did 2.0 plus 2.0. That gave us, so we had a double and a double, gave us a double. 2.0 plus 2.0, and then 2.0, no space, 2.0. Very interesting. So, you know, when you're doing your output, you're going to have to keep those things in mind. One One other thing I want to show you real quick is notice here we're using something called println. Okay, so what that does is it actually prints something to the next line. So I'm going to say, let's see, 40, and I'm going to put dash, and I'm going to put 2. Okay, so let's run that and see what we get. Now, if you're following along at home, you should see 40 on one line, dash on one line, and 2 on one line. We can also do this in Java. We can just do print. And let's see what that does. Very interesting. So notice that print by itself does not go to the next line automatically. It just keeps printing across the screen. Also notice the cursor now is at the end. So if I was to add something here, it would continue printing from that point. Now, we can also do something like this. Even though it's print, I can add /n. It's called the escape character, /, and the n will actually go to a new line. Okay, so that gives us the same result. So the n lets us print a new line. Oops. Let's go back to that. And then maybe here I could do system printout and quotes. And run that for the final time. Okay, there we go. Just again, a quick review. Make sure, well, let's see, comments. You have single line comments, which require 2 /. And then you've got multi-line comments, which has / asterisk and ends with an asterisk /. And in Java, you need to have a class for everything, main in this case, and main matches whatever the file name is that you're saving it as. Again, we're not going to worry about that for this tutorial. We're just going to do everything here in the browser to keep it simple for beginners. This is required. What happens is when it runs it, it looks for the main method, and if it's there, it executes it. Okay, so we've used so far system.out.println and system.out.print, and you've seen about string concatenation. It's a fancy way of just combining strings or shoving them together, whatever you want to call it. And you see how numbers are treated differently to strings, to textual information. And we broached the subject a little bit, but 2.0 is different to 2 in the computer's memory. We'll get to that in a future lesson. Okay, so give that a shot. I definitely recommend typing it all in and testing it and playing around with it and adding your own ideas. Okay, tune in for our next lesson.